Therapy Geeks mini episode. Luke and Louise interpret a dream. Welcome to. Well, hello. We didn't even say hello for the main episode, actually. I just realized this is our first hello, and we've already goodbyed. Yeah, hello, welcome. This is a bonus episode. We're going to do an interpretation of a dream between each of us. See what happens. Yeah, some viewers quite like the dream interpreting segment of the previous episodes. If you want to hear, send us a dream. We'll do our best to have a wee poker prod at it. I mean, you're about to hear the sort of quality of our interpretation, so you might be put off that. We'll see. We'll see there. Do you want to go first?
Right, mine was, I was kind of like sitting in an old style classroom or sitting in an office or something, right?
Uh-huh.
But it's very short. And then I sitting there working, and this person who I know, but I shall not, right, who I am fond of, I think is a really nice person, a male, was standing about a meter away from me, looking at me going as if to say, oh, can I help? Like, can I help kind of way, and looking at me, but kind of a little bit guarded. And I was like sitting at the desk looking around kind of, and I didn't respond, but they were like standing kind of a bit tense, a bit nervous, and like, can I help? Like looking over me like that. So what do you go for it? Like,
that's okay. Sorry if you heard me typing during that. I was just writing down what you were saying. This is one of the things I like about working from home counselling, is that I can just have all my notes open in front of me, and whenever I'm speaking to a client, sometimes I can be like, "Oh, and that's your sister Kathy, who's 29, and she's got the drink problem." And they're like, "Yeah, how did you remember? I only mentioned her once about 6 sessions ago." And you're like, I'm just a really good therapist." You got the notes open right in front of you. Yeah, okay, so let me just run that past you, sir. Old style classroom / office. You were doing
an office. I'm doing
working.
my work, but I'm sitting down and
You're
they're
sitting down.
standing up.
Okay, and this person who you're fond of, romantically, you've implied there, and standing a meter away is
Hi.
Oh, I just thought from the way you said it. You said you're fond of, who's male, and when you put it like quickly together, like I'm not getting that from the dream, but just from what you said. Maybe you are, I don't know. And standing a meter away as if to say, "Can I help?" And he's a little bit guarded and tense. And then did you say in the end he looked over your shoulder?
He's like standing like there, and he is quite a nervy person.
He's quite a nervy person. Okay.
Yeah.
God, there's quite for such a short dream. There's quite a lot there. Is he nervy? Short. He's nervy in real life. Do you mean when you say that?
I think so.
Okay.
But he's a leader.
Okay. That's interesting. I suppose that's kind of like what you were saying about an emotionally intelligent man, is like, because it makes me, when you said that, it made me think of Trudeau, because his whole thing is emotional intelligence, though I think his is more of a facade of emotional intelligence. But yeah, so he's a leader, but he's quite anxious. And and this is going to sound kind of cheating, but what comes to you first of all? What's your hunch?
Well, whenever I had that dream, I was like, is he terrified of me? Like, do you know, I was kind of like, oh, is he really intimidated by me? Because he wants, you know what I mean?
And I guess I'm wondering now about the location, because you said it's like a schoolroom / office, and you're sitting down to work. Is it a single table or is it a big table?
I don't know. I just I knew it was like, because my dreams aren't that, lots of people have lots of colors and mine's more a scenario that kind of happens. So I can't remember. I know, then I think about being at Queen's, think about being at work or study or whatever. See, like a study room or something like that, where there's other people about and they come and approached to go, would you like to help? Would you like me to help?
Okay.
And I'm sitting I'm sitting at the desk on the computer.
I wonder, I have some potential interpretations, but I just want to keep poking and prodding first. Actually, there's and is there like a feeling accompanying the dream?
It'll be pleasant.
Okay. So pleasant feeling, and let me see here. So then that's me just trying to get some general associations. I'm assuming you can't remember what you were doing the day before, no?
No, this is actually quite a wee while ago.
Okay.
But I think I'd been in a meeting with this person the day before. I think around that time there'd been a meeting.
And the okay, so there'd been a meeting, and the character. So I guess I'm thinking of the characters.
I just remembered the meeting.
What was the meeting?
I can't say too much because.
Okay.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Well, I think I don't know.
Well, what can you say? Okay. No, fair enough. So there's something relevant about the meeting. We can just leave it at that. It doesn't have to be the case.
Even I think they were a bit awkward.
And this guy, like, what part of you do you think he could be if he was a part of you? You know, sometimes they say that these people are, and dreams are representative of bits of you.
Uh, I think affection,
Okay, yeah. Okay, I see that.
tenderness.
And if you were to be that person in the dream, right? Okay, get into character as that person in the dream right now, and just say what you would say, what you are and what you're doing. Just
Loitering.
you're loitering. Okay. Okay, so I'm Mr. Helper. I'm loitering.
Yeah.
Okay, I think there's some stuff there, isn't there? So the interpretation I have off the top of my head is, you know, on some level it's about accepting help, and maybe you're feeling conflicted about whether or not. Well, I can't tell if you're feeling conflicted about accepting help, or you're concerned that you're putting up walls that prevent help getting in,
Yes.
or
Oh, look, you're good.
Oh yeah. And then whenever you got to affection and loitering, it's like, okay, so there's a part of you or a person in your life who's quite loving, and you're not sure if you're keeping them out or not, or you're sort of keeping them hanging around, and you kind of resent that they're hanging around a little bit too. I don't know. And I think it's more internal than external, though. I don't think it's a person in your life.
Oh my God.
Does that make sense?
Actually, now you've brought that to my consciousness, I would say that makes complete sense.
And does that have something to do with the meeting as well? Because you don't have to say, but I know there was something relevant in
I
there.
am really quite hard sometimes with a lot. I'm quite harsh.
See,
As in, I didn't know. Yeah, I would be quite like, get it done.
and that dream, it's about work, isn't it? In some sense too, you're sitting down to work, and yeah, when you say get it done, just there, that makes me think that's maybe is that part of the wider
I'm very
problem there?
straight.
Okay,
Get it done. Let's just get it done.
I see, I see.
Whereas other people, it take a bit longer. They've got, their wee anxieties or whatever, and they have their wee preferences. Whereas I'm like, get it done. Come on, chop chop.
Right, okay, and I guess you're saying in that dream, saying that this like attitude, great for work, bad for affection, bad for people who are people who are loitering and trying to be nice to you.
They're trying to, if me see me as a new, out and about going
Aye.
for dates,
Uh-huh.
might be hard for a man where I'm like, chop chop. They want to go.
Right, I see what you
Yeah,
mean.
if they
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
go, well, do you want to go out? What's she like? Is she always chop chop? And I'm like, no, I chill. I'm not always chop chop. I chill the fuck out.
yeah. So, some forms of dream
That's
interpretation,
amazing.
the last step is there something like an action, and that doesn't necessarily mean behavioral, like, oh well, I'm going to go outside and go for a jog, but sometimes it can be something symbolic to quote unquote appease the dream. I don't know.
I think that's really, really helpful.
Oh, good, good.
That's weird. Look, you're really good at this.
Oh, thanks. I do love it whenever a client finally finds the courage to talk about dreams in session, because it's one of the things that I try not to bring it up, but I'll talk about it if they bring it up. Do you know what I mean? Because some people, it can be off-putting, the idea that I do interpret dreams, because they're like, oh, well, this guy's wacko, you know.
You're good at it. No, with dreams are always messenger. See, I don't have that many dreams. So whenever that I actually don't dream that much. So whenever that one that was, and I remembered it, I knew it was quite important for me. And now it's really helped because I want tenderness and romance. But all these tender, sensitive, emotionally, sound men need to know that I'm not going to be a ball buster all the time.
Ah, that's quite nice. Well, it seems like a bit of
Yeah.
a moral from the dream there.
The moral
Class.
from the dream is you got to be a little bit gentle. But I'm very gentle. But whenever I've got stuff to do, I'm like, let's get it done.
Yeah, and that gentle part of you is that male hanging around you saying, "Can I help?" You know, kind of asking permission to be gentle to those around you.
Yeah, I know what I want in a partner. I want somebody to chill. I like lie on sofas and chill out and relax and be very tender and very gentle, and to have like days where you're just reading the paper, talking about all world events, like I'm going for walks and beaches and all that there. And that's very, very gentle. But in terms of my activism, in terms of environmentalism, very straight talking, very, very clear on what needs to be done.
Yeah, and those two sides need reconciling then, is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very good. So, right, your turn. Luke.
Okay. Well, I gotta give you a little bit of context to this one, because this is from a few months ago when I
Right.
was binge reading a comic book called Crossed. And if anyone's listening to this, I highly recommend that you don't read it because it's
What's it
dis-
called?
crossed, Crossed, because it's
No.
disgusting and horrible, right? It's got like torture, murder,
Oh God.
horrible. And I think it's just because I found it quite compelling for a while because it was so disgusting and horrible. It's like it's about a zombie apocalypse, but instead of zombies,
Jesus Christ.
instead of zombies, it's not zombies. It's just people at their worst. So everyone becomes this horrible murderous rapist who says these like just screams horrible things, and like to me that's like a nightmare scenario because I feel like you could feasibly survive in a zombie apocalypse because they're quite slow. But if these are, you know what I mean, these are like people, they're as smart as you and they're horrible, and
Oh
and
my God.
no issue at all with just completely just dismembering you and doing horrible things with the bits. And
Right.
so I binge read it over a month and had all these horrible nightmares because of course you do. And but I just didn't stop reading because I was compelled by the story. And anyway, so in this dream, well, I no, sorry, I've got to give you a bit more context. But like my partner Sarah, we've talked before about if like the world ends, if there's apocalypse, she's always said, first thing I'm gonna do, kill myself. I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna not gonna try and figure it out. Not gonna try and live through it. I'm just gonna kill myself. It's not worth it.
Jesus.
And I think fair enough. So okay, that's all the context. So in this stream, Sarah, my partner, and I are there's been an apocalypse, unspecified, but it's scary, and we're in a forest, and everyone is dying horribly. So it's pretty scary, and Sarah and I managed to find enough tablets to kill ourselves in a cave where there's also an altar to sacrifice on. That's not relevant for some reason, but it's there.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So we go, oh, the perfect spot
God.
to end our
I've been
lives.
really pathetic. My imagination is so vanilla
No, no,
compared to this.
some dreams are very simple and some of them are I have the same. No, sometimes I have some dreams
Oh
and it's
my
like two
God.
lines on a page, and then I have this dream where there's like six paragraphs. But so we're in a cave, there's an altar to sacrifice ourselves on. We found enough tablets to kill ourselves, and we're like happy days. And at first I think there might only be enough for me, and I'm actually quite reluctant to share. And then I feel really horrible at the prospect that I even considered just ending my life and just letting Sarah deal with it on her own. That's horrible. So that's where the dream ends. We have the possibility of killing ourselves, and then I get quite hard on myself because I think of something incredibly selfish. Whew, it's a relief
Wow.
saying that.
Is
Yeah,
it?
actually it is a bit. Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I think in a really dark, twisted way, that's really beautiful.
I think it's no.
Because I
I think
tell
it's
you
a.
why, it's like Romeo and Juliet.
I guess it is a bit, isn't it? I think
Yeah.
it's me being very worried that I'm selfish in the
Well,
relationship, I think.
sorry to interrupt, right?
No, no, I'm done.
That's what I think. That's what I think the message was,
Mm,
that you've reached a new kind of level in terms of this relationship
mhm,
where it's apocalypse is lifting the veil. It
mm,
means to lift the veil,
mhm.
right? So the veil is being lifted. So people are starting to see the truth. So you're starting to see the truth that actually that was showing you, yes, there's a level of selfishness, but it's different with her.
Mhm.
Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? You're
yeah.
like, oh, like, and that, I think that's why Apocalypse is lifting the veil. I find it really interesting that there's a forest and a cave.
Mm. It's a lot of
Um,
nature.
yes, because Apocalypse you
Ooh.
wouldn't associate with having, it's like a barren wasteland.
Do you think, and this might be a bit of a leap, but you've made me think of this now, is that, because the whole lifting the veil thing, it's like, is it maybe a fear that about my true nature, if you know what I mean? Because there's nature surrounding it. I know sometimes the visual metaphorical language of dreams, you do have to make these weird little leaps, but it's like, so apocalypse, lifting the veil, and I'm in nature. So am I worried that this is my
And
nature?
also you doing your things together, you're a very good couple
Hmm.
because like you've got your plan, like you find
Find
your
a way out.
you find your way, and then you're like, oh no, you're thinking about um Sarah in this situation because there's not enough, but then that's really selfish. So it's like it's I think the apocalypse, the doing things together, and then at the end I think it's lifting the veil for you about something in your relationships, but also the shadow, because that binge reading for over a month is complete shadow work.
Well, it is, isn't it? Yeah, I guess that's a good point. Yeah, like I'm quite because it's like I'm not indulging, but I don't know, but I'm in some sort of dialogue with a side of myself that that could be that evil.
It's the worst parts of humanity.
Yeah,
You were engulfed in the worst aspects of culture, society, humanity, human beings, like rape, torture, dismemberment, like just pure, like as bad as you could be. And then you find the love in it.
I guess it is quite sweet, isn't it? Do you know what also just hit me when you said that is about the altar to sacrifice on? And it makes me think, oh, there's an option of martyrdom and making it all about me, but we don't take that.
But it's like so many archetypes, so many different situations. But I actually think that's a really positive dream.
I think you're probably right. Well, that's one of the things about dreams is that that sometimes there's something to the counterfactualness of it that because sometimes in dreams there's a thing that's an opposite. When someone describes a dream to you, they say, "Oh, he was my cousin, but he wasn't," or
Yeah.
he was this, but he wasn't, or it was my house, but it wasn't. And it's like
yeah.
something important to that counterfactuality. No, that's all. Sorry.
I think on a subconscious, unconscious level, lots of people are worried about the apocalypse coming in. This is an existential threat in many ways. I think every generation has it. And I think your dream is signifying, I don't know, because I'm trying to learn Gaelic, Irish and all, but I'm really crap, right? But there's sayings in Gaelic that they use a lot in the environmental gatherings, which is Ní Cearla Curla Cake or something. That's about we are stronger together, right? But there was another one I heard recently, which I don't know, I'm not even going to try. It was about in each other's shadows we survive, and that in each other's shadows we survive, and that's what I think about you and Sarah in the stream.
Oh, that's quite sweet. Like, yeah,
you find sanctuary in each other.
Aye, feels
in
quite
the
comforting.
Madness of the world, you come together and it's an understanding. Yay!
Thanks very much. Oh, well, that was lovely. Yeah, we should definitely do this again then. Little bonus episode. Thanks very much. I don't know how to end it though. Usually one of us will say something that makes the other one laugh, and I'm like, oh great, I'll just edit in a fade out there, perfect. But if it just sort of ends with us both going, oh, that was lovely, thanks very much.
That was really lovely. What a lovely 12th of July.
Yeah. Yeah. Happy 12th of July, everybody. Therapy Geeks can be found on YouTube or your podcasting platform of choice.